And welcome inside the bottom line. Lanny Ford, Juju Phillips here with you on a Monday. What's that big yellow-orange thing that's out there in the sky?
The sunlight.
We have not seen that in a while. It has been cold and rainy.
Yeah. Maybe one of the cold. I can recall one of the coldest Memorial weekends. That
there were a couple of record-setting. I hope to get this right. Max highs for the day in May. Meaning you hit it at midnight and it kept dropping and never got above it. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't, in my memory, and I'm sure that we had it, but I can't remember the last time we went through a May without it hitting 90 degrees. We didn't hit 80 many times.
No, we didn't.
May.
It was 53 yesterday for a long time in the mid-50s. With rain.
Mr. Rembert was up in the mountains over the weekend.
I think they just got back. I just drove by and I saw them all unloading.
46 degrees.
Oh, man.
46 degrees. He was up at Newland. But it's got to be one of the coldest Mays.
On record.
And I can't remember, was it you telling me or Keever telling me that the extended forecast for the summer was cooler and wetter than normal?
It wasn't me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was Keever. And the other thing that he said that I thought was kind of interesting is, had this been 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we would have had a massive snow because this was a big moisture that come up out of it was really almost like a tropical storm. It formed off the coast of North Carolina, and the moisture came in from the coast. You had the cold air coming in from the north, and
they two shall meet, right?
Yeah. And that's how we got our massive snows. But it was it's been cool, damp. Milton, good evening. Richie, good evening. Richie said, looks like they may finish the 600 tonight. Milton, I've had to turn the heat on too. And Richie, I don't even care about 600. They ran both races today. I got a friend of mine's son went to the race, had tickets, and he said they told me, I saw him at breakfast this morning, that he went twice, paid to park, and has yet to see a race. He had to move his flight back. He goes back to Buffalo. He's working like an internship or something with the Bills, and he had to move his flight back to late tonight so he could see part of the race. There was free parking. And if you had a ticket for either event, the Infinity race was at 11 today. The 600 was at 3. The Infinity race got held up by rain during the middle of it. Because they want to get the 600 in, they're going to finish the 300 after the 600 tonight.
Wow, that's weird. That's wild.
That's just trying to get it in.
Yeah.
And I watched a little bit of the Indianapolis race yesterday. And I'm not an Indy fan, but I was waiting for softball to come on. There were a couple of game 3 matches to come on.
It's a fun time of the year if you follow softball and baseball and lacrosse.
Yes, yeah.
We're
going to, speaking of lacrosse, we're going to have Lenore Ryan, national champion coach on tonight about 6:15, and Will Boyd will join us about 6:45. Charlotte 49ers have made a regional in baseball. Clemson is hosting a regional.
They are.
And a lot of good baseball going on. So
NC State made it this year. I think they got jobbed last year. They made the regionals this year. I have it in front of me, but since I don't have my glasses, I won't try.
I'll look it up.
But no, they made it this year. And when you consider back in 2021 when all that stuff went down with COVID and they got knocked out against Vanderbilt in the championship. So I guess it's good. There's some teams that they think that as always, every year, you got so many teams, so many schools playing college baseball, some teams are going to get left out, and maybe 64 is not enough. Maybe they need to expand the field even more.
Well, I can tell you this. I know that I was looking at the pairings. Wake Forest is a number 1 seed in the tournament. SEC is hosting 8 of the 16 regionals. But, they do regionals. 64-team tournament will open up on Friday, 16 regionals. Winners advance to 8 best-of-3 super regionals and then to the College World Series.
Correct.
Plenty of opportunity to get there. And if you got left out, but when you think about it, most of these schools, if you go through and look at these 16 regionals, out of the 16, there's only a couple where the host school is not projected to win that regional to go on to the Supers. Now, I was telling you before we went on the air, national seeds, Wake Forest, or the following Wake Forest. Wake Forest is 1, Florida's 2, Arkansas is 3, Clemson is 4, LSU, Vanderbilt, Virginia, and Stanford. Seeds 9 through 16, Miami, Coastal, Oklahoma State, and Coastal's hosting a regional. Yeah. Kentucky, Auburn, Indiana State, South Carolina.
And they're hosting a regional.
Yeah, and they're not projected to win their regional. I'll have to go back and find that. Last 4 teams to get bid in alphabetical order was Arizona, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Troy, Arizona State, Kansas State, Kent State, and UC Irvine.
That one in Columbia you're talking about is Campbell and NC State play each other. One of those teams, is my guess, is probably going to be the higher seed, or at least one of those teams are expected to move on, not maybe win, but South Carolina they're playing Central Connecticut. In their regional. Duke is playing Wilmington, and Coastal's playing, I don't remember who.
You know who surprised me in softball was Duke. Duke almost made it to the College World Series. Yeah, I didn't realize they were that good in softball. Here we go. We've got.
What was surprising, East Carolina did not get a regional, and I think, and 4 can probably speak to it better than I, and I follow it, just as a casual fan, but they had a pretty good year. They won 40-some games, and they're in the regional up in Virginia, Charlottesville.
East Lincoln is playing for a state championship this coming weekend, and softball. And David Keever sent me a text. They're playing Western Alamance, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Burlington.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. You'll like this. He sent me some stats. Western Alamance softball. 10 straight shutouts. They have not allowed a run in the playoffs.
That's pretty impressive.
Not allowed a run. The pitcher, her name's Taylor Apple. This season, 333 Ks. This season.
Wow.
Going to ECU. Play softball.
I wonder how many games is that? I mean, that's averaging, what, over 10 strikeouts a game?
Through the playoffs, that's got to be.
Is she the only pitcher they use?
I don't know. Here's your matchup. So let me give you these regionals before we get Coach Paradine on. Auburn Regional is Southern Miss versus Samford, Auburn versus Penn. Baton Rouge Regional is LSU versus Tulane, Oregon State versus Sam Houston.
Stop right there as I'm reading down. This is me, just a first observation. Where are all the West Coast teams? It looks like this is all in the South.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Charlottesville, Virginia versus Army, East Carolina versus Oklahoma. So there's where ECU is.
Yeah.
It's Clemson versus Lipscomb, Tennessee versus the Charlotte 49ers. The Columbia Regional.
And I think Charlotte's number 1 pitcher from a year ago transferred to Tennessee.
Maybe.
And he may be starting that game.
And then Columbia Regional is Campbell and NC State, South Carolina, and Central Connecticut. And I want to say Campbell was the one predicted to win that regional over NC State.
Yeah, they had a good year. 44-13, my goodness.
The Conway Regional by Coastal is Duke, UNC Wilmington, Coastal Carolina, Rider.
Again, where's the West Coast teams?
Coral Gables Regional, Texas, Louisiana, and that would be the Raging Cajuns. Mm-hmm. And they were in softball super regionals too. Miami versus Maine, Fayetteville Regional, Arkansas versus Santa Clara. There you go. TCU versus Arizona. There's another one. Gainesville Regional, Yukon, Texas Tech, Florida A&M. Lexington Regional, Kentucky, Ball State, West Virginia, Indiana. The Nashville Regional, here you go, Oregon versus Xavier, Vanderbilt versus Eastern Illinois. The Stanford Regional, Stanford versus San Jose, and Texas A&M versus Cal State Fullerton. The Stillwater who is DBU?
Darned if I know.
I don't know who DBU is. Versus Washington, Oklahoma State.
Dallas Baptist University.
Okay. Oklahoma State versus Oral Roberts. The Terre Haute Regional. Indiana State, Wright State, Iowa versus North Carolina. The Alabama Tuscaloosa Regional, Boston College versus Troy, Alabama versus Nichols. And then your Winston-Salem Regional is Maryland versus Northeastern, Wake Forest versus George Mason.
Wake's had a heck of a year. They're 47-10.
Now, this was the other thing. The Southeastern, the SEC got 10 teams.
Okay.
ACC got 8 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Big 12 got 6. And here's your question. The Pac-12 only got 5. Arizona, Oregon, Oregon State, Stanford, and Washington.
No Southern Cal.
Sun Belt got Coastal, Louisiana, Southern Miss, and Troy. Big 10 got 3. American got 2 with East Carolina, Tulane, as well as the Big East, the Colonial, Conference USA. They all got 2. And DBU must be Dallas Baptist.
It is. So looking on the Pac-12.
Dallas Baptist. Thank you, Wilson. Will Board answered our Dallas Baptist question.
All right, very cool. No Southern Cal, no UCLA, and they're going into the Big Ten. They're not. They can't even make it in their league right now, the Pac-12. How are they going to do it in the Big Ten where they don't play nearly as many games?
Thank you, Richie. I couldn't remember. Clemson, you had asked me. Clemson's won 16 straight.
Okay.
Yep. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. That's why they're a good pick. And Richie said Clemson, Virginia Tech, Duke have started becoming really good at softball to go along with FSU. FSU is going to the College World Series, if I'm not mistaken. Florida State.
Yeah,
Florida State. And it's, I've said this before. That's another bucket list trip. I'm not interested in going to see the College World Series in baseball, but I am interested in going to see the women's softball College World Series. And let me see who's in that Women's College World Series. There we go. And this one starts this week, and I'm going to be so upset because then it's going to be over. Tennessee versus Alabama at noon on Thursday. Oklahoma against Stanford. Florida State against Oklahoma State. Washington takes on Utah. That Utah and San Diego State matchup was a great matchup. The Northwestern and Alabama matchup was another great matchup. And then you go into the losers bracket, and if you have to come out of the losers bracket to get there. But that's at the OGE Energy Field at USA Softball Hall of Fame Complex in Oklahoma City. But yeah. I would like to go see that one, but I'll have to. That's what I hunt for when it gets this time of year. Is looking for it. But I'm surprised at how far behind college baseball is behind the women's softball, because baseball is just now getting to regionals. Then you got super regionals, and then you got the series, and the women's college softball will be over.
Yeah.
By the time the regionals are over,
I guess they'll be the only game in town. That's the way they want to work it.
I guess. I'm sorry, it's a 2-week thing. Takes you till June 7th and 8th. But anyway, I digress. Let me go ahead and get off here. Coach Greg Paradine.
Yeah. National champion.
National champion, and not by a little bit. Kind of laid the
one of the biggest blowouts in history.
One that laid a woodshed whipping on. I better take a break.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
And welcome back. Glad to have you here on a Monday night. Now the clouds have covered up that yellow-orange ball that was in the sky a little bit earlier. But the sun is shining in Hickory, North Carolina at Lenoir-Rhyne University, Lenoir-Rhyne College, when you and I were there.
Yeah.
We have a second national championship, this one in lacrosse. And Coach Greg Paradine, thanks for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And it wasn't a close one. You didn't even make anybody sit on the edge of their seat, I don't think. You kind of put the throttle out there early and just stayed on it.
Yeah. Our guys played unbelievably well. It was probably the best game we played, all year, and it was a good day to have a good day, I guess.
Coach, did you sense before going in that the guys were dialed in and ready to go and come out as strong as they did?
Well, it's funny you say that, because we had a scrimmage on Wednesday before we left. We left on Thursday. So Wednesday we had a scrimmage where we pumped in crowd noise to kind of simulate the environment in Lincoln Financial Field. And honestly, it was the worst practice we had all year. And I said I was really concerned. We watched the film of the practice with the team afterwards, and we were like, look, this is what we cannot do when we get up there. And I actually think that really helped us, because it is a different environment. I mean, you're playing in a football stadium. I think there was close to 8,000 people there yesterday, and you can't communicate. So it sort of settled us, and I think that really helped us, just prepared us for what it's like to play in that environment. Our guys really, just played freely and with a lot of joy and loose, I think, was the best way to describe it.
Had you ever been a part of you have a national championship as a player in North Carolina, now you garner the first one as a coach. Have you ever been in a match where things got out of hand so quickly like that before?
Well, when I first started the program here at LR, we were in a couple of those on the wrong end. But never in a championship game like that. I mean, it was as close to a perfect game that you could play. Honestly, I mean, we were flawless pretty much from every end. Our offense was clicking, our defense was physical, our goalie play was great. It was just amazing to watch. I don't think I felt comfortable though until about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, when I was like, "Wow, we might actually do this thing."
Give us a sense. What kind of reaction did you get from either fans that were there, text or phone calls since you got back? Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, it was great. Got calls from former coaches and players, and a lot of our alums. Mike Houston reached out. So it was really neat just to, and a lot of the people who when I started here at LR, people who were around when I started the program, and need to really get messages from those people who saw what it was like when we first started, and to see they kind of witnessed the journey with me, and I think that was really neat. But it was really special for our alums. We had a tremendous fan base there up in Philly. A lot of our former players were there, and that was for them. They started this program and they built it, as Neil would say, brick by brick, and it was really kind of an emotional finale, and getting to the pinnacle of lacrosse was just unbelievable.
Let me talk a little bit on the lighter side. My understanding is that your goaltender, who like a goaltender in hockey, you ride it because I guess he was really hot, especially in the playoffs. My understanding is he has a pet iguana. Did he bring that on the trip? And was he like superstitious or something, or is that good luck charm or what?
No, so he's a bearded dragon. Yes, and he took it with us up to Philly. He's from Philadelphia.
Okay.
So he was afraid that had he left it, it would have died. He didn't have anybody to watch it. So he put it in a cardboard box, made the trip with us to Philly. His mom came and got it at the team hotel, and he played unbelievably well. So if he wants to travel with his bearded iguana, his bearded dragon, that's fine with me.
That is definitely different. That's all I'll say. That's definitely different. Now, I want to tell you this. We had a listener that said that LR got a mention on Good Morning America, that
Really?
They were talking about a player from the team that you played who had a heart transplant.
Yeah.
They went through his story, and when it was over, the guy said, just to remember that all stories do not have a storybook ending, as they lost to Lenore Ryan in the national championship game.
Oh, wow.
So that was the
that's
mention.
I'll take that.
You'll take that. That's right. That's right. You'll take that. I'm sure.
Coach, have you figured out, is that you said you had a team meeting today. Have you guys figured out where you're going to hang the championship banner?
No, that's a good one. I think that's for Kim to figure out, and hopefully right there on the football stadium. But we met with the guys because it was really chaotic after the game, and I really didn't get a chance to talk to the guys. But I wanted to sort of put it in perspective for them, and I told them, I said, look, you guys are going to be legendary here at Lenore Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
First NCAA championship program to win in a 125-year history of the school, and that's really special, and it's an amazing accomplishment, and it says a lot about those guys.
They're not going to change the name of the Moret Stadium to Paradine Place, are they?
No, I don't think so. No, but it's I'm really just thrilled for our alums and our fan base, and and all like the people who we have so many fans that never knew what lacrosse was, and over the course of the last 13 years have become fans of our team and program, and a lot of them made the trip up to Philadelphia. And that was really special to see the amount of support we got up there. We're 600 miles away from Hickory, and it was loud and raucous in there. It was a great environment.
And the impact that you've had on introducing the sport to this area, you got kids now that came up learning about the sport. that you introduced, now they're going off to college and getting scholarships and playing lacrosse. And you're almost like the godfather of lacrosse in the Hickory Metro.
Yeah, well, that's exciting to see. I mean, and we're starting to put some kids out there who are playing the sport who weren't introduced to it previously, and there's a lot of opportunities for kids who love a fast-paced athletic game and who can play it on a collegiate level. There's a lot of growth on the Division II level right now, and teams continuously add. So there's a lot of opportunity to play in college and access college scholarships.
First Division I school from North Carolina to win a national championship. I guess Limestone's won a handful, 4 or 5, something like that. How long are you going to savor this championship before you have to say, I got to get out on the recruiting trail and start putting together the team for next year?
I'll try to savor it. I think that's one of the things that people told me is, it was one of Mike Houston's piece of advice. He said, look, take a couple of days to enjoy it, and that's really something I want to do, because it's, for me, it was hard to process, because I told in the press conference yesterday, I said, starting programs kind of like having a child, and all of a sudden it's grown, but you're like, whoa, wait, you were a little kid yesterday, where'd the time go? So it's, I want to take some time to process it and enjoy it. But yeah, well, I'll be out on the recruiting trail this weekend, actually, with my youngest son. So we'll be out there, looking for the next crop. And I told the guys today, you're gonna have a bullseye on your back. You are the defending national champs, which is, quite an honor. But let's see what we can do next year.
Yeah, I mean it makes you wonder and think about how appreciative you must feel and about what you had done, because I was watching the national championship game match today, Division I, and Notre Dame beat Duke. And Notre Dame's coach has been there over 3 decades, and this was his first championship. Was that right?
Yeah, Coach Corrigan.
Wow.
I saw him in the hallway yesterday. We were coming in. He gave me some words of advice because they had played on Saturday. So he'd given me some words of advice, but it was neat to see. And that's what I told the guys. We were there in 21 in the championship game, but there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get back on that stage. And to be back 2 years later and to take it all the way is really special. And it's something those guys are going to remember for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, it's something, that's a great point. And a lot of times folks don't think about that. You think about football legends like a Dan Marino that went to the Super Bowl early and in his entire career never got another sniff. I mean, there's no guarantees of getting back. So you have to make sure that you lay it all out right there to make sure if you don't get another opportunity that you at least don't squander that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And our guys did that. It was, their effort from the opening whistle. I mean, we were flying around defensively, and it was something to see. I mean, our guys were ready. They were not going to be denied.
Well, I was going to ask him, were you ready for those showers that you got, those Gatorade showers? You got one on the field, and I guess you got another one in the locker room, right?
Yeah, no, I was not ready. I was not ready at all. I didn't see him coming, and it was cold. It was cold. Although the second one, the water one, was good because that washed off all the Gatorade. So, but no, that was. I'll take those showers anytime.
I'll guarantee you would. Congratulations again. And for some reason, I think when you hit that recruiting trail, it might have a little different feel to it when you walk in and you've got some hardware to go along with it.
Absolutely, and can't wait to get out there, and but we're going to savor this for sure.
Yeah, don't blame me. Congratulations again, bringing one home to Lenoir-Rhyne University and Hickory, and Coach, we'll be definitely keeping up with you in the future.
Great, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
All right, take care.
That was a mention that he got on Good Morning America. Not exactly premium spot, but you'll take what you can get.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to give you some stats that Bob Duckworth shared with me about Taylor Apple, and I'm going to tell you that she got those 333 strikeouts in 156 innings. Innings, not games, innings.
That's over 2 strikeouts.
Or a call in for the drive-thru. Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill. They have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
And welcome back. Appreciate Coach joining us. Talk a little lacrosse. Great honor for Lenore Ryan, I can tell you that. Let me go back to softball. Not taking anything away from East Lincoln at all, but this girl's got to get some props. Taylor Apple is ranked number 17 in the nation in strikeouts. Okay,
I mean, there were 16 other people that had more strikeouts?
Yep. The number 1 pitcher is out of Tennessee, 441
innings.
No, KOs.
And how many strikeouts? I mean, how many innings for those?
211.
So that's, jeez, that's 2 strikeouts an inning.
That's
time
absolutely amazing. But Bob had sent this link. Now let me go on down through here. Taylor also in North Carolina ranks number 13 for home runs.
Oh wow!
In North Carolina.
And you said she's
with
going
12.
to East Carolina.
Pitcher and first base.
Okay.
She also is number 19 in North Carolina in RBIs at 42. She also is number 6 in North Carolina with a .54 ERA. Let that one sink in.
.54. No,
0.54.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Less than one.
Yeah, half a run a game.
Yeah. And batter struck out, she's number 1 in North Carolina. And wins, she's number 4 with 22 wins.
So I'm guessing that these girls that pitch all this, they are their team's only pitcher?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Like that girl we saw from James Madison a few years ago?
Yeah.
Right? She pitched every game that they made it all the way to the College World Series?
In Division 3A East, she's ranked number 9th in batting. She's hitting .577.
Jeez.
.577. Yeah. See, it's different. It's different in softball.
What do you mean different? Is the ball different?
No.
Different bat?
The novelty with Shohei Ohtani
Yeah.
is that he's a pitcher and he can hit.
Yeah, he can.
You don't see that. I mean, you go back to the Babe to do that.
Yeah.
But in softball, you can do that. You can be a pitcher and still be a big stick.
Yeah, you're right. You can do that. You're right.
Yeah. So that's
Is
impressive.
she a lefty or a righty? Do we know?
I do not know. I don't think it says.
Is Oklahoma, do they not have a really good pitcher that's left-handed?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking. Her career KOs are 831.
In high school career.
And her
don't call them KOs, call them punch-outs.
Her career ERA 0.83, less than 1.
That's amazing.
48 wins. She's pitched over 400 innings.
Wow.
And fielding percentage, is that a FP?
I think so.
That's a 944. And BA, I don't know what BA is.
Batting average.
No, not BA. No.
Balls in play, no.
I don't know. She has been at bat 210 times, had 101 hits, 86 RBIs, 30 doubles, 3 triples, and 23 home runs in her career. She's played in 68 games. Her career batting average is 481.
Basically 500. Every other time you get up, you get a hit.
Yep, that's pretty impressive.
Sure is.
Yep. And she is right-handed. Here's a picture of her in the circle. I won't say on the mound, but she's in the circle.
All right.
5'5". And she's a righty. Pretty impressive.
Yes, it is.
I think Bob, appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's going to be tough, I think.
For East Lincoln to win?
Yeah. Nobody scored a run on them in the playoffs.
So what do? You play small ball? You bunt? You try to,
She's going to ECU,
flustered?
Richie.
Yeah. Try to get her flustered?
I don't know. I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can. Richie said that Virginia coach Lars Tiffany takes this approach after they won the title last year. He said, "We aren't the defending champs. That was a different team. This team wants to be champs." I like that.
Yeah.
We may not make it there. Because after you've won it, you're not the champs. That team was the champs, but you're on the new team now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Will says it's tough on the arm. I just don't know. I know it's different, but it's like I told Four. I've yet to see a pitcher, baseball, softball, whatever it is, that really like this, that stays after it. That pitching arm is going to be a little bit longer than the other one. They get stretched. I mean, it stretches the ligaments and tendons and stuff.
I would think so, yeah.
Yep. And I can't remember. There's a percentage almost of how much that arm stretches on
really?
pitchers. Yeah. That's but like, the thing with a baseball pitch is the arm torques so much.
Yeah, the elbow
the thing
and
that
arm.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you have the what do you call it?
Tommy John surgery.
Tommy John surgery. But you do have some of that, even though it's underhanded, because you do spin. But I guess it's just not as much torque.
No, because you're up here and you're coming down, as opposed to already down and you're coming up. I think it's a lot easier on your arm.
Yep,
more natural, I think.
Let me take a break, and then when we come back, Will Boyd's going to join us. We'll talk a little college baseball. Regionals get underway this week, and a lot of local area teams are in it. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
And we're back. Thanks for joining us here on a Monday evening. Wind's getting up a little bit. I bet it's going to be cool again in the morning, but it'll be okay. We'll head to our phones, bring our next guest on. We've had him on before. We'll get him to kind of catch us up on college softball as they're getting ready to start. College softball, college baseball. College softball's finishing up. College baseball getting underway with regionals this week, super regionals coming up, and then the College World Series. Wilson Boyd, thanks for joining us, Wilson.
Thanks for having me. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. And sounds like there's a lot of good things going on in the community around Hickory, and I'm blessed to be on. So thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. And I'm glad the weather cleared up for some of the events that were going on. It's kind of been, Judy and I were talking about, been a cold, wet May, not one that you would think of. But, typically, I I know the ACC tournament had a little trouble trying to get theirs in, didn't they, with the weather?
Well, I guess they did, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Clemson Tiger fan, so I guess the weather turned out for us in the best favor, so I can't argue with that one.
So tell us your thoughts on seeing your Tigers winning the ACC championship. Was that a surprise to you, or something that they came on towards the end of the season? What are your thoughts on them winning the title?
I would say somewhat of a surprise to me, but at the same time, it's not. I'm surprised how fast they were able to get the job done. But I'm not surprised to see Eric Backett go out there and do it. I guess he was hired for, or kind of, I guess, what the backbone of our organization, the Clemson Tigers, are built around. So I was glad to see that. So I guess it's kind of both.
You know, when you look at it, Clemson has been one of those programs that was in the College World Series picture for a number of years, but never could quite get there. And then that's when they decided to kind of make a change, was it not?
Well, I want to say this first of all. It's difficult to win a national title.
Yep.
I heard the gentleman, I'm not sure what his name was, for lacrosse from the Hickory area for LR. But you know, as long as we give ourselves a chance to compete for it, that's what Clemson is built around. And you know, as I said, it's tough to win one, but as long as we put ourselves in a situation to have that opportunity, that's what our program would like to see.
Is this the best team that you can remember, Will, since maybe Coach Leggett left, that they put together and try to make a run at a College World Series?
Since Coach Leggett left, yes. So one of the things that I would look at is I think they have 3 hitters hitting over 300 right now. They have 11 or 12 hitters with an on-base percentage over 300, and that's important. And so and the other thing you got to look out on, I don't know the numbers right now, but their strikeout to walk percentage. And so the biggest thing is they got 12 guys with an on-base percentage over 300, and that's important.
Were you surprised by the number of teams that were from, I want to say, our local area? When I say Southeastern, you're talking about ACC and the SEC got 18 teams in. Juju was talking about not really a whole lot from out west. You're missing Southern Cal, UCLA, some of those teams. Are you surprised that the West Coast is not having the baseball they used to have?
Yes, but I don't know enough to really speak on that. I know Stanford got in. I'm used to UCLA always having pitching. You know, it's hard for me to. I just don't know this year. Discredit teams, but I just think that the Southeast is strong.
How much have you followed baseball on the collegiate level in this area, especially this year? Because you got an East Carolina who's playing. You mentioned Clemson, Tennessee, and Charlotte play each other. Coastal, Duke and UNC Wilmington, and then you have Campbell and NC State playing. Sounds like the ACC, and you mentioned the SEC, but the ACC, they are every bit as competitive as any other conference in the country.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think it's called the movies Any Given Sunday. It just depends. It all depends on how the pitcher's arm feels that day, and you know, also how the offense feels. I think that a scary team to watch. I mean, they're not scary. They're number 1 in the country. It's Wake Forest. They got 3 guys that can really throw the ball, and it all depends on, in my opinion, the bullpens.
Is college baseball, we're talking Wilson Boyd, college baseball, I've always looked at high school baseball, you've got to have enough arms to get it done. Those are the teams that usually go the deepest. Even when you talk about Major League Baseball, that was something. Atlanta was kind of one of those teams that they had the bullpen, they had the pitching depth, but they couldn't hit the baseball. But in high school and even all the way through college, is it really about the depth that you've got from the pitching side?
Yes.
So when you talk about college baseball, the teams that can go the deepest need to really have it from the pitching side.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
You got to have depth, because if one guy goes down, you got to have another guy that can come in back in the bullpen that can perform for you or protect the lead. So in the major moments, it's about, to me, the 7th to the 9th inning.
Yeah.
To protect.
You know, we covered, when I was doing ESPN Charlotte, Charlotte 49ers was the team we covered. We did some baseball for them back when Hibbs was there, Lauren Hibbs was there. And it was almost like the pitching roster was as deep as the rest of the roster. Is that kind of the way college baseball works, a lot of pitching depth?
More pitching depth is better than more, in my opinion. If I was going to field a team, I'd have had more pitching depth than player depth.
Yeah.
Player depth.
Who if you had to make a prediction, is Wake Forest the team that you would watch that really has a solid chance of winning it all, or is there somebody else you like better?
I think the toughest team is going to win. I don't really know how. I don't know how to predict that one. I like Clemson right now because they're playing tough. As long as you have tough at bats, you can wear down that pitching. But I think Wake has the best pitching.
Okay.
That's what it's going to come down to is pitching. Whoever's going to win.
Yeah, well, let me.
Line up can beat that.
Let me switch real quick over to a little high school baseball. Lanny was talking about it. East Lincoln, I think, made a run in high school baseball, too. Besides softball, they made a run. Hickory High got off to a great start this year and had some injuries. And you talk about pitching, I think they lost their number one pitcher this year to injury, and they kind of struggled the rest of the way. Coach Kraft won his 500th game. We wanted to have you on right after he won his 500th game. Talk about that and Coach Kraft, what he's meant to you and what kind of coach he has been for high school baseball for the Red Tornadoes.
So that was a special game. I was there for it. I think it was at East Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken. Coach Kraft is a dynamic influence in the community. He's the athletic director now for Hickory High. He's done a lot for the kids. One of the things he's talked to me about is, he calls it sweat equity. It means the work you put into the job and everything you do. And so, they got down with their pitcher this year, and it kind of affected their team. But they were coached well. Coach John Hamilton was there with them as well, former LR guy. And I really hate it for them, but they were coached well. And I remember watching the 500s win, and I wish it would worked out different for them. But they put the work in, and they were coached well. And I love Coach Kraft, so I'm not sure what else to say about that one.
Yeah.
Wilson, we appreciate you taking the time, and, of course, we'll probably try to catch back up with you as we get a little deeper into college baseball World Series action. But thanks for joining us here on a Memorial Day.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all's time, and happy Memorial Day to everybody, and, go Hickory.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Wilson Boyd joining us to talk a little baseball. When I hate to say it because I'm a Clemson fan too, but Clemson made quite a few runs with Jack Leggett.
They did.
And it was one of those things where, same thing, I cannot remember the coach that was at South Carolina that won the World Series. And then
was it Ray Tanner?
Ray Tanner, and it wasn't too long. He got kicked up to the front office because kind of couldn't get back.
Well, he was at NC State too.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, it's just like we were talking with the lacrosse thing. Anything where you're talking about a national championship, there's no guarantees. There's a few programs in football that are doing that pretty regularly now, but not in any other sport. There's not that kind of dominance in any other sports that you can think, we'll be back at least next
There used
year
to be in women's basketball with Connecticut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's changed
and
a little bit.
And South Carolina kind of got into that a little bit. But and it also, when you talk
you think
about,
that's good or bad for collegiate sports?
I don't like the perennial
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. Because
You like to see the parity, and you like to see different
I do,
teams.
and I was getting ready to say one of the teams that excites me the most is you have a team like Coastal Carolina that was able to win a national championship in Division
2016,
I.
I believe,
Yeah.
or 2015.
Yeah. And that was great for them. Here again, I'm not the Chanticleer, fan, but I like to see schools like that put in the work and to know that playing field is level enough to where if you put in the work, you get an opportunity.
Yeah, and it's interesting that since COVID, we're seeing some of these teams, even in all sports, baseball now we're seeing it, that these teams that kept their players, they got that extra year, some of these teams that are making it now to the World Series or into the regionals are these older teams, the ones that have kids that are 4 and 5 year seniors, 6 year seniors.
Yep.
And so that's always interesting to see, and maybe those are the teams that have some of that extra pitching.
Well, and you also saw it, or you see it in the NCAA tournament. The teams that seem to go the deepest are not the one and dones, because it's the teams that have built the chemistry, have been together longer, got the older players with them to kind of for that guidance and stuff. And I think it shows through with a lot of sports. You've got to have a little bit of time invested to be able to get there, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's almost like one of those unintended consequences.
Yes.
That it happened. It grew organically that these teams said, wait a second, now the portal has helped. They've gotten graduate transfers and whatnot, but they got older teams that are making runs.
Will this COVID thing wash itself through by this year?
I think maybe this is the final year for that. Either this year or next year is the final year.
Okay.
That the kids will have their
yeah.
Maybe this is they get one more year. I think this is that's it.
That's
kids that came
in
20, they would have come into college. I'm talking baseball now. So 2019 and started their college baseball seasons in 2020, in the spring of 2020. They got that extra year. So 20, 21, 22, 23, and then they get that extra year. So next year will be the last one.
And
the cycle. I had to do my math with my fingers.
It helped to kind of, give kids an opportunity to not lose that year of eligibility, which I like. And here again, I'm not completely against the portal if it's done properly. I just don't think you should haphazardly be able to jump from school to school.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see more guardrails put up.
I think you are too.
Yeah,
I think you
down
are
the
too.
road.
Yeah, I think that's coming. Bob said Lenore Ryan Lacrosse did have a couple of D1 transfers as well.
They did. They had one, top of my head. I think they had 5 on their roster. I was doing some checking on that today. They did have a couple of D1 transfers.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. As far as I know, Mr. Rembert will be back tomorrow. He he got busy last week. I got busy last week, and we're here when we're here. That's kind of the way that works.
Yeah.
But we'll be back, and then we're going to stay nights or we're going to go mornings when you get out of school? It's not up to me. It's up to you. I'm here anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm here at 5, and I'm still here at 5 in the afternoon. And so we'll
have a discussion. I'll get my agent, get in touch with your agent.
You have your people get in touch with my people. Have a great evening. We'll see you in the morning right here on the bottom line. Hope you've had a great Memorial Day weekend.